Okay, this one's exploring angle relationships. This is section 2-5. Okay, we've got some definitions here, okay? So make sure you're pausing and writing these down. We have a ray, looks like this. It starts at one point, called the end point, and it extends forever in one direction. So we would call this ray MN, and actually it would start at M and go through N, so that's how we could write that as well. MN, or it could start at M and go through N this way. So that means that M is your end point and it's traveling through N. An angle is a figure formed when two rays meet at a common endpoint. Okay, so here's your ray, they meet here, and this is called the vertex, and then we end up with our angles. A central angle is an angle with its vertex at the center of a circle. A right angle is an angle whose measure is exactly 90 degrees, and then we mark it with this little box to show that it's a right angle. A straight angle is one that's 180 degrees, okay? So it's like a half circle. All right, so it could be this way, or this way, any of those. An acute angle is an angle whose measure is between 0 and 90. Okay, not including 0, not including 90, because if it's 90, obviously it's a right angle, okay? So we're going to go anything from here all the way up to 90, but not including 90. An obtuse angle would be anything above 90, but less than 180. Okay, I don't know if you can see this whole joke, but it says, ha, you wouldn't know an isosceles if it bit you in the hypotenuse. Really, Frank, sometimes you're so obtuse. And you're always right, Vivian. It's funny. All right, complementary angles. This one is one you maybe haven't seen before. Complementary angles are two angles whose sum is 90 degrees. Okay, so this one could be 20 and this one could be 70. We don't know, but we do know that they add up to 90 degrees. Okay? Supplementary angles are two angles who add up to 180 degrees. So again, we may not know those measures, but we know they add up to 180. Congruent angles are two angles whose measures are equal, and we can mark them, okay, kind of like with tick marks, where if I have two marks, that means that those two are the same. Okay, if I had one mark, they're kind of like tick marks, like I said. If they have the same number of markings, that means that they're the same measure. Vertical angles are two angles formed by intersecting lines, so here's my intersecting lines, and facing in opposite directions, okay? So A and C are vertical angles, and B and D are vertical angles. And vertical angles have equal measures. So if I know B, I also know D. If I know A, I also know C. And then this total, this would add up to 360 degrees. Triangle sum theorem. It's the sum of the measures of the angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So here this is color-coded. So it's saying the measure of angle A plus the measure of angle B plus the measure of angle C is 180 degrees. Okay, no matter what, it always adds up to 180 degrees. An acute triangle is a triangle with three acute angles. Every triangle has two acute angles. What defines the triangle is that third angle. So if all three of them are acute, it's an acute triangle. Okay, if two of them are acute and one is obtuse, then it's an obtuse triangle. And if two are acute and one is right, then it's a right triangle. Okay, this is kind of cool. I don't remember if it had sound or not, but hang on, and I'll get it for you. Come on, there we go. Let's see if it fits in there for you. All right, so.
Check this out. Hey, that's good right there.
Okay, I'll try and zoom in for you.
Got this. Ooh. Yeah.
This is ridiculous. Keep it going.
Whoa. That is crazy. Throw me another one. Alright. Oh, no way. Oh, man.
Keep it up. No way.
Oh, no way. Yeah. One more. Yeah. That was crazy.
Okay, so like I said, that was just kind of something cool I found that was really neat to think about the angle relationship there. All right, okay, here's a problem. It says given. Okay, remember this symbol means ray. So it starts at G, goes through B. So ray GB, that's this thing right here. If it bisects angle AGC, this is angle AGC, sorry. If it bisects it, that means that it makes two congruent angles. Let's reset that. Okay, it means that this angle is equal to this angle. Okay, that's our first clue. The measure of angle FGE is 70 degrees. FGE is 70 degrees. Okay, so if that's 70 degrees, well, we know this angle would be equal to this angle, because they're vertical angles, if you remember from the vocab. If you know this is 70, you know this is 70. If these two are the same, and they add up to 70, you know they both have to be 35 degrees. Okay, so let's use some of the other vocab we talked about. Let's see, we know this one's 90, because we've got that little square that tells us 90 degrees. And then if we go from here to here, this is 180 degrees. Well, if I take away 70, that means this is 110 degrees. Okay, and all we have left is this little guy here, which we can either take 360 and subtract everything, or you know that these two add up to 90, so this one here has to be 20.